Do you know how the anterior posterior limb axis developed in tetrapods? This is Gayatri. Welcome back to BioSchool. In today's video, I am going to explain you the generation of anterior posterior limb axis in tetrapod and what is the protein that is involved in the formation of anterior posterior axis and how the digits are specified and the role of sonic hedgehog protein and the BMP. To know more about it, please do watch my video till the end. Hey everyone, today we are going to discuss about the generation of anterior posterior limb axis of tetrapods. In the part 2 of tetrapod limb development, we have discussed how the proximal distal limb axis formed. If you have missed that video, I have given the link in my description box. Please do watch. So, how the anterior posterior axis generated in tetrapod. Before going to that, let's know which one is the anterior axis and which one is the posterior axis. Our thumb, it marks the anterior axis while the posterior axis is marked by the little finger. Okay. Little finger, it marks the posterior side while the thumb is the anterior side. Then which protein regulate the formation of anterior posterior axis in tetrapods? That protein is known as the sonic hedgehog protein. Here in diagram you can see this one is the anterior axis and this is the posterior axis. Now comes to zonopolarizing activity. It is also known as the ZPA. The anterior posterior axis is specified by a small block of mesodermal tissue which is present near the posterior junction of the young limb bud and body wall. The region of mesoderm is known as the zone of polarizing activity. Okay, and where it is present? It is present in the posterior region. When the tissue is taken from a young limb bud, that is from the posterior region, and transplanted into the anterior region, then that results in the formation of a mirror image. Okay, so here we see, okay, the tissue is taken from the posterior region of young limb bud and it is transplanted into anterior region of another limb bud. Then that result in the formation of mirror image. Here you can see that number of digits of resulting wing is doubled. Okay, and the sonic hedgehog, a vertebrate of hedgehog family member, is necessary for the activity of zonopolarizing activity. And the sonic hedgehog gene, it is activated by fibroblast growth factor 8 which is secreted from apical ectodermal ridge. So how FGF8 which is secreted from apical ectodermal ridge activate the sonic hedgehog protein, we will see in our upcoming slides. Now the specifying digit identity by sonic hedgehog protein. So how the sonic hedgehog protein it specify the digits. Okay, when the digit form, the cells in digit 5, okay, that is the little finger, will have high level of sonic hedgehog protein for a longer time than the cells in digit 4. Digit 4. Digit 4 or it may be the digit 5 are specified by the amount of time they are exposed to sonic hedgehog protein in an autocrine fashion. Okay, here it is the digit 4 or the digit 5. So that is determined by the time of exposure to the sonic hedgehog protein by autocrine fashion. Now comes to digit 3. Digit 3, it is specified by the amount of time cell were exposed to sonic hedgehog protein both in an autocrine fashion or paracrine fashion. Okay, so digit 3 it will be this is sonic hedgehog time of expression as well as it depends on the concentration. Whereas the digit 2 it is specified by the concentration of sonic hedgehog protein is cell received by paracrine diffusion. Okay. Whereas the digit 1 is independent of sonic hedgehog protein. Okay, digit 1 is independent of sonic hedgehog protein. Let's consider if sonic hedgehog protein is mutated, then what will form? Only we will found the thumb, because the digit 1 or the thumb, it is independent of sonic hedgehog protein. This is very important, okay? You have to memorize it. Although the sonic hedgehog protein appears to specify the digit directly, but it is working through the bone morphogenic factors, that is BMF. The concentration of BMP also specify the digits. The identity of each digit is specified by the webbing between the digit, the region of mesenchyma that undergo the process of apoptosis to free each digit. Okay. So when the digit will be specified? When the interdigit mesenchyma undergo apoptosis. So the finger has the BMP inhibitor that is known as the noggin. Okay. So the fingers has the BMP inhibitor, bone morphogenic protein inhibitor. That protein is known as noggin. Whereas the interdigit region has the BMP. Okay. That is the bone morphogenic protein which induce the apoptosis of the mesenchyma and free the digits. Okay. You remember the finger has the BMP inhibitor that is known as the noggin. Whereas the interdigit space, it has the BMP which induce the apoptosis. If BMP present throughout it, then what will happen? Then it apoptotize all the cells and no finger will be found. If BMP present throughout it, then it will apoptotize all the cell and no finger will be found. The dual role of BMP signal in limb mesodermal cell. Here we will see how BMP it signals in limb development. Okay. BMP can be received in presence of fibroblast growth factor or Wnt. Okay. So just see, if when FGF from AER, that is apical ectodermal ridge, are present, then it will activate the protein. That protein is known as the DKOF, that is the DKK1 activated. This protein mediated apoptosis, and at the same time DKOF, it inhibit the Wnt beta-catenin. Okay. If the Wnt beta-catenin protein are the inhibited, then it prevent the DKOF protein, it inhibit the Wnt and beta-catenin and inhibits Wnt from adding in skeleton formation. Okay. Because the Wnt and the beta-catenin protein that are required for the formation of joint, as it is inhibited by DKOF protein, so it cannot form the bone or the skeleton, and that will lead to the formation of cartilage. Okay. So in the absence of noggin is the BMP inhibitor, and where it is found? It is found in the finger. Okay. In absence of noggin, BMP7 was able to convert nearly all the mesenchyma into cartilage. Okay. This is very important. So if FGF from apical ectodermal ridge is present, then it will activate the DKOF, and DKOF when activated, it causes the apoptosis. As well as DKOF, it will inhibit the Wnt beta-catenin, so that it will inhibit the skeleton formation, and that lead to the formation of cartilage. Now we will see the interaction between the apical ectodermal ridge and the limb bud mesenchyma. In the limb bud, it has FGF10. Okay, and this FGF10 from mesenchyma generated by the lateral plate mesoderm, it will activate the Wnt. Then once the Wnt activated, then it will activate the fibroblast growth factor 8, and fibroblast growth factor 8 in turn, it will activate the fibroblast growth factor 10, causing a positive feedback loop. Okay. So as the limb bud grows, then sonic hedgehog protein in posterior mesenchyma created new signaling center that induce the posterior anterior polarity. So how it induce the generation or how it induce the formation of anterior posterior axis? Let's see. First, the sonic hedgehog protein in the posterior end, it will activate gremlin, which is presented by GRIM1. Okay, it will activate the gremlin. Once the gremlin it activates, then it will block the BMP. It will inhibit the BMP, bone morphogenic protein. Once the BMP it is inhibited, then BMP it cannot inhibit the FGF8. So now FGF8 is activated. Okay, FGF8 is activated. When the FGF8 it is activated, then it will inhibit the ETV45. Okay, ETV45 it is inhibited. If the ETV45 it is inhibited, then it cannot inhibit the activity of sonic hedgehog protein. Now the sonic hedgehog protein will be expressed from the posterior region. Okay. So in the first step, what will happen? In the posterior region, sonic hedgehog protein will be secreted, and this sonic hedgehog protein it activate the GRIM1. Then the function of GRIM1 is to inhibit the BMP. Okay, as the BMP inhibited, then from the apical ectodermal ridge, FGF8 will be formed. Then that FGF8 protein it will block the ETV45. As the ETV45 is blocked, now ETV4 and 5 it cannot suppress the sonic hedgehog protein. So that led to the expression of sonic hedgehog protein at the posterior end. Now see the two feedback loops link the AER and ZPA. Okay. So first you see this is the sonic hedgehog protein. It will activate the GRIM1. Then what is the function of GRIM1? It will inhibit the BMP. As it inhibit the BMP, then what will happen? Then apical ectodermal ridge, it will secrete the FGF8 and FGF9, 4, 9 and 17 protein will be secreted. Then in the other hand, what will happen? This FGF4, 9 and the 17 from AER, it will activate the SHS, that is the sonic hedgehog protein, stabilizing the zone of polarizing activity. Let's consider if FGF concentration is high. At the high concentration of FGF, what will happen? It will inhibit the GRIM1. GRIM1 will be inhibited. Okay. If the GRIM1 is inhibited, then it cannot inhibit the bone morphogenic protein BMP. Okay. Now the bone morphogenic protein or the BMP is activated. So it will suppress the expression of fibroblast growth factor or FGF expression from apical ectodermal ridge, and that leads to no limb development. Okay. So when the concentration of FGF will be high, then that lead to the negative regulation and no limb development. But if the FGF concentration are low, then it cannot inhibit the GRIM1 and that leads to the limb development. Now comes to previous year CSIR UGC NET question. Formation of digits and sculpting the tetrapod limb requires death of specific cell in the limb in a programmed manner. Which one of the following interactions could explain proper limb formation? Let's see. We have seen this diagram in our slide. We have discussed about this also. So, the BMP in presence of fibroblast growth factor, it will activate the decuff, and once the decuff activated, that leads to the apoptosis, and this decuff also it will inhibit the BMP. The cough also inhibit the Wnt and beta catenin. Okay, once the Wnt and beta catenin it is the inhibited, then it will form the cartilage. BMP it also help in the formation of the cartilage. So the option 1 is the correct answer. Thank you for watching my video till the end. If you like this video, then don't forget to subscribe my channel.